A very good evening. You're watching News Tonight on Sabha TV, where we get you the day's biggest news and events from across India and the world. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the top stories. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives to a warm welcome in Jakarta, meeting with Indonesian President Joko Widodo tomorrow to include discussions on business, investment and regional security. India and Pakistan agree to maintain ceasefire on the international border and line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. Director Generals of Military Operations agreed to fully implement 2003 agreement both in letter and spirit. ₹12 crore beneficiaries get loans worth 6 lakh crore rupees under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Prime Minister addresses recipients, says 74% loans given to women, 55% to SC, ST and OBC communities. Storm and lightning strike Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Jharkhand. 45 people killed. Thunderstorms predicted over the next 2 days. Monsoon reaches Kerala 3 days ahead of schedule. And CBSE announces results of Class 10 board examinations. Girls outshine boys yet again. Score pass percentage of 88.67 to 85.32% secured by boys. 17 girls among 25 students occupy first 3 positions. 4 students secure 499 out of 500 marks. Well, the top story of the day. As part of his 3-nation visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today arrived in Indonesian capital, Jakarta. The visit is expected to strengthen strategic cooperation between the two countries. Modi will hold bilateral talks with Indonesian President on Wednesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Jakarta on Tuesday on the first leg of his 3-nation tour to East Asia. On his first ever official visit to Indonesia, Modi will meet President Joko Widodo on Wednesday. He will hold talks on bilateral cooperation in areas including maritime, trade and investment. Both leaders will attend the India-Indonesia CEOs Forum. The Prime Minister will also address the Indian community in Indonesia.
We are already strategic partner since 2005. And as close maritime neighbors, there are issues which concern both of us in a very fast developing, fast evolving global situation. So there are issues relating to maritime, there are issues relating to economic development and also people to people, because that is a very strong pillar of India-Indonesia.
The Prime Minister's visit to Indonesia, Malaysia and Singapore is aimed at deepening partnership with Southeast Asian countries. India's Act East policy that was introduced by the Modi government focuses on the extended neighborhood in the Asia-Pacific region. In a series of tweets ahead of his visit, the Prime Minister said India has a robust strategic partnership with all the 3 countries. After Indonesia, the Prime Minister will make a brief stopover in Kuala Lumpur on his way to Singapore, where he will hold extensive talks with his Singaporean counterpart Lee Hsien Loong. A key highlight of Modi's visit to Singapore will be his keynote address at the Shangri-La Dialogue. He will be the first Indian Prime Minister to deliver the keynote address at the forum. Modi tweeted that this will be an opportunity to highlight India's views on various regional issues. In Singapore, the Prime Minister will also unveil a plaque at Clifford Pier, where Mahatma Gandhi's ashes were immersed in sea. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And before embarking on his visit to Indonesia, Prime Minister Modi interacted with beneficiaries of the Mudra Yojana scheme through the Narendra Modi app. During the interaction, the Prime Minister said 6 lakh crore rupees have been disbursed to 12 crore beneficiaries in the last 3 years. He also asserted that the Mudra Yojana has become a job multiplier. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with Mudra Yojana beneficiaries from across the country through a video bridge on Tuesday. The video conference was the second in the series by the Prime Minister, who interacted with various beneficiaries of government schemes. The Prime Minister said the scheme has empowered entrepreneurs to create new products and jobs in the market while freeing them from the clutches of moneylenders and middlemen.
मुद्रा योजना से न केवल स्वरोजगार के अवसर बने, बल्कि आज ये अपने आप में एक जॉब मल्टीप्लायर का भी काम कर रहा है। इस योजना की सबसे बड़ी खूबी यही है, मुद्रा योजना ने ये ब्याजखोर लोगों की चुंगाल से देश के युवा धन को बचाया है।
Under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, the government has so far given out 12 crore beneficiaries worth 5.75 lakh crore rupees. Of this, 28% of the loans worth 3.25 lakh crore rupees were given to first-time entrepreneurs. Of the total loans disbursed, 74% of the total beneficiaries were women and 55% of the loans were given to SC, ST and OBC communities.
मुद्रा योजना एक ऐसी योजना है जो बिना किसी भेदभाव के पिछड़े समाज को आर्थिक एवं सामाजिक बल देने का, उन्हें एक सशक्त करने का काम सफलतापूर्वक किया है। जो कारवां बैंकों के साथ शुरू हुआ था, उसमें धीरे धीरे आज अनेकों संस्थान भी जुड़ते चले गए हैं।
During the interaction, the beneficiaries also shared their experiences with the Prime Minister.
अभी लेने से धंधा अच्छा चल रहा है मेरा, 2 पैसे बचता भी सर, बैंक भी भरता हूँ सर अच्छे से।
समय पर पैसे दे रहे हो बैंक वालों को वापस?
जी सर।
हाँ, लोगों को पता होना चाहिए, बड़े लोग तो उठा करके भागते हैं, लेकिन गरीब आदमी कभी भागता नहीं है।
नहीं
हाँ,
रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट में फंडिंग कम हो रहे हैं, इसलिए हम लोग रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट में फंडिंग होने से हमारा जो बिजनेस है वो उसका ग्रोथ भी होगा और मैं एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी जनरेट कर सकती हूँ।
The Mudra Bank was proposed in Budget 2015-16 by the government with an initial corpus of 20,000 crore rupees. Apart from this, 3,000 crore was earmarked as credit guarantee corpus. Mudra classifies the borrowers into 3 segments: the starters, the mid-stage finance seekers and the next-level growth seekers. For the last 3 years, the Mudra Yojana has given substantial impetus to the micro, small and medium enterprises sector, crucial for the country's transformation. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. The BJP kick-started its massive outreach program Sampark for Samarthan on Tuesday to share the achievements of the Narendra Modi government with well-known people from various fields.
BJP President Amit Shah launched the party's massive outreach, Sampark for Samarthan, to showcase the achievements of the Modi government ahead of the 2019 general elections. Kickstarting the campaign, Amit Shah on Tuesday met with former Army Chief Dalbir Singh Suhag at his residence.
मैं तो गांव से जुड़ा हुआ हूँ, गांव में पैदा हुआ हूँ, तो जो बेसिक प्रॉब्लम्स हैं गरीबों की, किसानों की, वो बेसिकली हमने डिस्कस की, उन्हीं पर बेसिकली हाईलाइट हुआ है।
BJP President Amit Shah also met former Lok Sabha Secretary General Subhash Kashyap as part of the party's Jan Sampark program. He also informed him about the government's flagship schemes and their success rates.
बहुत सारी योजनाएं हैं जो बहुत मन को भाई हैं, बहुत कुछ हुआ है, बहुत कुछ होना बाकी है और हो रहा है।
मैं जनरल सुहाग के वहाँ गया था, कश्यप जी को भी मैंने सारा साहित्य दिया है और हमारी सरकार के काम से उनको परिचित कराने का मैंने काम किया है। आज ये लोक संपर्क अभियान की शुरुआत हुई है, देश के हर घर तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी पहुँचे, ये हमारा प्रयास रहेगा।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also hold a special session through the Namo app with the party workers to educate them about the campaign. During the campaign, Amit Shah will personally contact at least 50 eminent personalities, while every party worker will contact at least 10 people and share the Modi government's accomplishments with them. About 4,000 BJP functionaries, including chief ministers, union ministers, down to panchayat members across the country, will contact 1 lakh people during the drive. Now Vikram Singh's report for RSTV.
And with the Modi government completing 4 years in office, union ministers are organizing press conferences across the country to showcase the government's achievements in the past 4 years. Speaking in Lucknow, Home Minister Rajnath Singh said security forces killed over 600 terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir. Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also addressed the media in Itanagar. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh on Tuesday presented Modi government's achievements in the past 4 years. Addressing a press conference in Lucknow, Rajnath Singh said the Indian economy had acquired strength and resilience under the Modi government. He also expressed hope that the government will be able to meet its target of doubling farmers' income by 2022.
हमारा भारत पहले दुनिया की जो बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्थाएं थीं, उनके दुनिया की बड़ी 10 अर्थव्यवस्थाओं में भारत नहीं आता था, यानी टॉप 10 इकोनॉमीज में नहीं आता था। टॉप 10 इकोनॉमीज में लाने का काम आदरणीय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने किया था। लेकिन 4 वर्षों के अंदर ही आर्थिक मोर्चे पर हमारी सरकार ने जो काम किया है, आज मैं कह सकता हूं बड़े गौरव के साथ कि आज हमारी देश की अर्थव्यवस्था दुनिया के टॉप 7 इकोनॉमीज में आकर खड़ी हो गई है।
The Home Minister asserted that the government has effectively succeeded in tackling both internal and external challenges. He confirmed that security forces eliminated 619 terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir in the last 4 years. He added there is a marked drop in the incidents of Naxalite violence in the past 4 years. Addressing a press conference in Itanagar in Arunachal Pradesh, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said all border areas, including the Indo-China border, will soon be connected through optical fibre. The Defence Minister also showcased ISRO's accomplishments during the NDA government.
All satellites which are for the South Asian region. And we are also the only country now, along with a few, who can have global navigation system because of the NAVIC IC that we brought in. The naval IC navigation system, not naval, navigation system in the space, which is going to give us a complete picture of our own space viewed pictures, which are very important for our security.
Speaking in Kanpur, Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi termed demonetization, GST and surgical strikes as major achievements of the NDA government. Union Health and Family Welfare Minister also addressed a press conference in Shimla to make people aware of the government programs and implementation. The NDA government completed its 4 years in power on the 26th of May. With inputs from Ravindra Singh Sharan, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Indian and Pakistani Director Generals of Military Operations have agreed to maintain ceasefire on international border and the line of control. A special hotline contact was established between the two top military officials on Tuesday, during which both DGMOs reviewed the prevailing situation along the line of control and working boundary. A statement by the media wing of the Pakistani Army said the two sides mutually agreed to undertake sincere measures to improve the existing situation, ensuring peace along the borders. Both DGMOs agreed to fully implement the ceasefire agreement of 2003 in letter and spirit, with no side violating it. They also decided to follow restraint and address the issue through existing mechanisms. And on to some other news, the southwest monsoon has hit Kerala 3 days before its scheduled arrival. The Indian Met Department has made a forecast of normal rainfall this season. The onset of monsoon over the southern state marks the commencement of the 4-month-long rainy season in the country. Fishermen have been advised not to venture out to sea along the coast of Kerala today and tomorrow. At least 45 people were killed as thunderstorms struck at several places in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Jharkhand on Monday. 19 people died in Bihar as high-velocity winds packing speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour swept across many areas on Monday night, followed by pre-monsoon showers. 10 people were killed in Gaya and Aurangabad districts. In Uttar Pradesh, 15 people were killed and 10 injured in Unnao, Raebareli, Kanpur, Pilibhit and Gonda districts. Several houses were also damaged. And 5 people were killed in incidents of lightning and thunderstorm in Pakur and Chatra district of Jharkhand since Sunday. The Met Department has predicted rain and thunderstorms accompanied by gusty winds in isolated places of UP and Bihar over the next couple of days. And North India continues to reel under a heatwave condition as normal life was hit by the scorching sun in Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Delhi recorded a maximum temperature of 42 degrees Celsius, while in UP, day temperature was above normal in Allahabad, Muradabad, Jhansi, Gorakhpur, Varanasi and Kanpur divisions, with Orai recording the highest maximum temperature of 47 degrees Celsius. Let's now take a look at the heat wave situation across the country. And time for a very short break. News and updates will continue on the other side.
Watch The Big Picture with me, Frank Rausen Pereira, at 9:30 p.m.
Four years of Modi government. Watch our special report on the biggest indirect tax reform in the history of India. Goods and Services Tax, GST.
It is the most significant economic reform in independent India.
It will be a challenge for tax evaders. Now it will not be easy for the evasion of tax or evasion of transactions.
आप इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाओगे, उसमें लीकेज को रोकोगे, तो जीएसटी इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने का बहुत अच्छा मूव है.
4 years of Modi government, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. The Election Commission announced repolling in several polling stations a day after by-polls were held for 4 Lok Sabha and 10 Assembly seats. This after reports of VVPAT machines malfunctioning during Monday's by-polls. Repolling was ordered in 73 polling stations in Uttar Pradesh's Kairana, 49 polling stations in Maharashtra's Bhandara Gondia and 1 polling station in Nagaland. Notifications for the repoll have been issued in Lucknow, Kohima and Mumbai. Over 11% of the 10,300 VVPAT machines across 10 states had developed faults and had to be replaced yesterday. CBSE declared Class 10 board results today. Girls did better than boys with an overall passing percentage of 88.67 compared to 85.32 for boys, repeating a pattern seen for the last few years. Here's a complete report.
The Central Board of Secondary Education declared Class 10 board exam results for over 16 lakh students on Monday. The result was available on the official website of the board. HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar congratulated the candidates who cleared the exam and said the reintroduction of the board exam was an important step.
I congratulate all those who have succeeded in 10th board examination. This is actually a preparation for 12th. So those who have succeeded, all buck up, improve further for 12th. And those who have not should not lose heart. They should concentrate on studies for next days for compartment, and I am very sure they will get through.
With an overall pass percentage of 86.7%, 4 students topped the exam, scoring 499 out of 500. They included Prakhar Mittal from DPS Gurgaon, Rimjim Agarwal from RK Public School Bijnor, Nandini Garg from Scottish International School Shamli, and Shri Lakshmi G from Bhavan Vidyalayas, Cochin.
I want to do engineering because STEM, science, technology, engineering and math is something which interests me. And even I'm even a part of a robotics team, so I'd like to do something similar in the future.
अपने पेरेंट्स और स्कूल में टीचर्स की हेल्प से की, उन्होंने बहुत सपोर्ट किया है और हर प्रॉब्लम में मेरी हेल्प की है, तो उन्हीं के कारण आज मैं अपनी ये सक्सेस का क्रेडिट उन्हीं को देना चाहूँगी.
I would like to pursue something on pure maths because I'm interested in mathematics. So I would like to go to some good mathematical college in India most probably.
And like the Class 12 board exams, girls once again outperformed boys. Girls had a pass percentage of 88.67%, while boys secured 85.32%. 27,476 students scored over 95% marks, while 1,31,493 students scored over 90% marks and above. Thiruvananthapuram topped with a pass percentage of 99.60, followed by Chennai 97.37% and Ajmer 91.86%. Delhi has a pass percentage of 78.62%. This year marked the return of CBSE 10th board examination after 9 years. The board examination had been replaced by Continuous and Comprehensive Evaluation CCE scheme from 2009-10. With inputs from Anu Devan, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Banking services will be impacted for the next 2 days as the employees and officers of public sector banks call for a 2-day nationwide strike from the 30th of May to press for wage revision. The bank employees are protesting against a nominal 2% wage hike offered by the Indian Banks Association. As the meeting called by the Chief Labour Commissioner for a reconciliation failed on wage revision, all the 9 constituents of United Forum of Bank Unions have decided to continue with the strike call. Most of the banks, including SBI, PNB and Bank of Baroda, have already informed their customers that functioning of branches and offices will be impacted if the strike takes off. And the issue of Tuticorin violence, in which 13 people were killed, rocked the Tamil Nadu Assembly on Tuesday. Opposition DMK demanded permanent closure of the Vedanta Group's Sterlite copper plant in the district. Leader of opposition MK Stalin targeted the state government for not convening a cabinet meeting and taking a policy decision regarding closure of the copper unit. He termed the government order on sealing the plant as a mere eyewash. DMK leaders also staged a walkout, calling for the resignation of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. Meanwhile, the State Industries Promotion Corporation of Tamil Nadu Limited has cancelled the allotment of land for the proposed expansion of Vedanta Group's copper plant in Tuticorin. The National Human Rights Commission has also decided to send its fact-finding team to probe the deaths of 13 people in police firing during the protests against Vedanta's Sterlite copper unit in Tuticorin. The CBI has registered a case against Airasia Group CEO Tony Fernandes and others. The case relates to alleged violation of norms getting international flying licenses. The officials say directors of the aviation company violated norms for relaxation of 5 out of 20 rules in the aviation sector to get licenses for international operations, as well as violation of Foreign Investment Promotion Board rules. The CBI alleges that Airasia lobbied with unknown officials of Civil Aviation Ministry and the then officials of FIPB in order to bring the required change in aviation policy to suit the company. According to 520 rule, a company needs 5 years of experience and 20 aircraft to become eligible for the license. Besides Fernandes, owner of Total Food Services that provides catering for Airasia, Sunil Kapoor, Airasia Director R. Venkatraman, aviation consultant Deepak Talwar, Director of Singapore-based H&R Trading Rajendra Dubey, and unidentified public servants have been named in the FIR. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has called for adequate representation to women both in Parliament and state legislatures. While releasing a Hindi book titled Bharat Rajniti ke 50 Shikhar Mahilaएं, authored by Dr. Ashwini Shastri, the Vice President emphasized on the need for political and economic empowerment of women. The Vice President said representation of women in legislatures would help in resolving complex and sensitive socio-economic matters. This, he added, has been recognized the world over. He also expressed concern over the growing atrocities on women, calling for a change in people's mindset.
Time has come now that India should move on the path of giving equal opportunity to women in all fields, in education, in economic empowerment, and also in political empowerment. This is the need of the hour.
The Enforcement Directorate attached assets worth 177 crore rupees in connection with its money laundering probe against the Rotomag Group. The ED issued a provisional order under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act to attach properties owned by Rotomag Global Private Limited and its directors. Earlier on the 27th of February, the Income Tax Department filed 12 cases against Rotomag in connection with an alleged loan default of 3,695 crore rupees. A special CBI court on the 24th of February handed over custody of Rotomag owner Vikram Kothari and his son to the CBI for allegedly cheating 7 nationalized banks. And on to some international news. Officials from the United States and North Korea are holding talks in preparation for the potential summit between top leaders of both the countries. This was confirmed by US President Donald Trump on Twitter. Trump said that a senior North Korean official is en route to New York as part of preparations for a planned summit with leader Kim Jong-un next month. A US negotiating team led by a former US ambassador to South Korea and former nuclear negotiator with North Korea also arrived in North Korea on Sunday for talks on denuclearization deal with North Korean Vice Foreign Minister. On Monday, Trump had confirmed that the much talked about summit in Singapore with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on the 12th of June was back on track. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for your time.